I'm holding the smallest Meshtastic node ever built. I have collected many different Meshtastic nodes, but this one, by far the smallest. It is so small, to the point it can fit inside earbud charger, and it is fully functional as well. It is so small, to the point it can fit inside matchstick box, and it fully functional node. Pressing the mini push button to scroll right and left to display the nearby nodes as shown on the screen. Also to switch to the GPS mode. I wanted to build the smallest Meshtastic node ever. The idea started when I received this 0.96 OLED screen that came inside this clear plastic case, which measured 35 by 35 mm with depth of 18 mm.
I have previously designed a small, tiny case that would house the Meshtastic node components, but then I decided to go full DIY, which means you build things with what available and on hand without going through the troubling of designing and 3D printing, which, for some, they may not have those assets.
This is XIAO ESP32 S3 and WEOS X1262 kit for Meshtastic and LoRa. This 0.96-inch OLED screen module with blue and yellow color.
This is 3.7 volts, 100 milliamps LiPo battery measured 18 by 14 millimeter. It's super small and tiny, so that fits inside the case.
Tactile push button, which function as power on and shutdown button, and also scroll pages on the screen. Sketching. Every project or idea start with a pencil and paper. Good practice if you want to become good engineer. Prototyping. Before any product goes to the production line, it always starts with dev, test, and prod. In this case, I'm simply using breadboard and jump wires to test out the functionality of the product. Finally, quality assurance and quality control passed. To fit in all the components inside this tiny little case, which has depth of less than 20 mm, I must cut the ESP32 board pins as well as that of the OLED screen so that I can make space for the wiring and the LiPo battery. Always use flux when soldering or desoldering PCB components. It helps a lot with removing pins or attaching electric components to a PCB. Wiring the 3.3 volt and ground from the OLED screen to the ESP32 3.3 volt and ground. And now, wiring the CLK and the SDA on the OLED screen to the GPIOs on the ESP32 board. The CLK goes into GPIO 6. The SDA goes into GPIO 5. Final wiring testing before attaching the battery to the ESP32 board. Wiring the two battery terminals, positive and ground, to the back of the ESP32 board where charging pads indicated with golden plus and minus sign. Now testing the battery charging and the board while the battery attached. Also testing the push button functionalities. The wiring complete. Now let's put everything, or let's fit in everything, inside this mini tiny case.